Hi guys, welcome to Tax Q&A, your go-to resource for all things tax related. Whether you're an individual looking to understand your tax obligations or a business owner trying to navigate the complexities of the tax world, we're here to help. In each video, we break down tax topics into easy-to-understand explanations, offering practical tips to understand complex tax issues. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let's dive into today's tax question. Education tax credits. Guys, welcome to a thrilling exploration of the U.S. tax code. We're talking about education tax credits, which are free money from the government. You paid for that, now you deserve some of it back. Now, I know what you're thinking, tax forms, but trust me, understanding these credits is worth it. We're talking potentially thousands of dollars that can help offset the cost of college. In this video, we'll be delving into the American Opportunity Credit, AOC, and the Lifetime Learning Credit, LLC. We'll break down who's eligible and how to claim these credits, and any IRS changes for 2025. Buckle up, tax adventurers. It's about to get informative. All right, let's start with the good stuff. The actual credits themselves. First up, we've got the American Opportunity Credit, or the AOC if you want to sound like you're part of a secret tax society. This bad boy can potentially get you up to $2,500 back in your pocket per student. Per student. That's enough for like 2 textbooks and a semester's worth of money, or maybe more. Now, the AOC is specifically designed for those first 4 years of college. It covers things like tuition, fees, and even those course materials that somehow manage to cost more than a small car. But wait, there's more. We've also got the Lifetime Learning Credit, or the LLC. This credit is a bit more flexible. It's not just for college undergrads. You can use it for a variety of courses, like professional development or even learning underwater basket weaving. No judgment. The LLC maxes out at $2,000, which might not sound as impressive as the AOC. But remember, this credit is a marathon, not a sprint. You can use it for as many years as you want, as long as you're taking courses to improve your job skills or just, expand your mind. And the best part, you can actually claim both of these credits in the same year. That's right, double the credits, double the tax savings. It's like finding a $20 bill in your pocket, except instead of $20, it's potentially thousands. Of course, there are some caveats. We'll dive into those details in a bit, but for now, just bask in the glow of these educational tax breaks. Okay, so you're excited about free money from the government. But before you start planning that celebratory vacation with your tax refund, we need to talk about eligibility requirements. Because, as with most things in life, there are some hoops to jump through. First and foremost, both the American Opportunity Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit have income limits. There are income thresholds you need to stay below to be eligible. And, surprise, surprise, the IRS likes to adjust these thresholds every year, just to keep things interesting. Next, let's talk about educational requirements. The AOC, for example, requires that you be pursuing a degree or other recognized credential. You also need to be enrolled at least half-time in a qualifying educational institution. And before you ask, no, Netflix University doesn't count. We're talking accredited colleges, universities, and vocational schools. The IRS does not publish a specific list of recognized colleges and schools, but you can determine whether a college or school qualifies for the American Opportunity Tax Credit, AOTC, and Lifetime Learning Credit, LLC, by checking if it is an eligible educational institution as defined by the IRS. Check the institution's participation in federal student aid programs. Visit the Federal Student Aid website. Use the Federal School Code search tool to confirm if the institution is eligible for federal financial aid. If the school has a federal school code, it is likely an eligible educational institution for tax credit purposes. The LLC is a bit more lenient on the educational requirements. You don't necessarily need to be working towards a degree, but the courses you take do need to be aimed at acquiring job skills or maintaining or improving skills you already have. The point is, eligibility for these credits depends on your specific circumstances. Don't just assume you qualify or disqualify yourself before checking the IRS guidelines. Because, and I cannot stress this enough, we're talking about free money here. Don't leave free money on the table. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, paperwork. I know. Just the word forms probably makes you want to crawl under your desk and hide until tax season is over. But fear not, intrepid viewers, for we are here to guide you through the bureaucratic labyrinth that is filing for educational tax credits. First things first, you'll need the right forms. For the American Opportunity Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit, you'll need Form 8863. This form is used to claim these education credits, American Opportunity and Lifetime Learning Credits. Now, this form is going to ask you for some specific information, like the name of the educational institution you or your dependent attended, the amount of tuition and fees you paid, and some other details that might make your brain hurt. But don't panic. Most of this information can be found on another very important document, Form 1098T Tuition Statement. Think of Form 1098T as your educational expense report card. It's sent to you by your school and outlines all the money you spent on tuition, fees, and other qualified expenses. Hold on to this form like it's a winning lottery ticket, because you'll need it to accurately fill out Form 8863. Of course, the IRS being the IRS, there might be some additional documentation required depending on your specific circumstances. For example, if you received any scholarships or grants, you'll need to provide information about those as well. The good news is, you don't have to navigate this paperwork alone. There are plenty of resources available to help you, including the IRS website, tax software programs, and even real-life tax professionals. At least you know what to look for. With a little preparation and a healthy dose of patience, you can claim those educational tax credits and come out on top. 2025, flying cars, robot butlers? Sadly no, but we do have changes to the tax code. Now, we are not going to bore you with every minute detail because frankly, we value your sanity. But let's focus on what's relevant to our educational tax credit journey. The good news is, the American Opportunity Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit are still alive and kicking for 2025. No sudden disappearances or radical overhauls. However, that doesn't mean that the IRS didn't have a little fun with the details. Remember those income limits I mentioned earlier? Yeah, those might have shifted a bit. Here is a detailed breakdown for the American Opportunity Credit. Your modified adjusted gross income must be $90,000 or less for single filers, or $180,000 or less for joint filers. The student must be enrolled at least half-time in a degree or credential program, and the credit applies only to the first 4 years of post-secondary education. Additional criteria. The student must not have a felony drug conviction during the tax year. The taxpayer cannot claim the credit for the same expenses covered by other tax benefits. For the Lifetime Learning Credit, there's no limit on the number of years you can claim this credit. The income thresholds are $80,000 for single filers and $160,000 for joint filers. The student can be enrolled in any level of education, including non-degree courses. The student must not have a felony drug conviction during the tax year. It does not apply to the Lifetime Learning Credit. Additional criteria. The LLC is non-refundable, meaning it can reduce your tax liability to zero, but you won't receive a refund for any excess credit. Eligible institutions. The student must be attending an eligible educational institution, as defined by the IRS. Check the institution's participation in federal student aid programs. Visit the Federal Student Aid website. Use the Federal School Code Search tool to confirm if the institution is eligible for federal financial aid. If the school has a federal school code, it is likely an eligible educational institution for tax credit purposes. The credit must be claimed by the taxpayer who pays the qualified education expenses. This can be the student, a parent, or someone else. Form 1098T. The educational institution must issue a Form 1098T for the student, which you use to claim the credit. No double benefits. You cannot claim multiple tax benefits for the same student or the same educational expenses. By meeting these criteria, you can determine eligibility for these valuable education tax credits to reduce your tax burden. There's also a chance that the amount of the credits themselves could be adjusted. Maybe they'll go up, maybe they'll go down. Now, I know what you're thinking. How am I supposed to keep up with all these changes? Do I need to become a tax lawyer in my spare time? And the answer is, of course not. The key is to stay informed. The information is out there, and with a little effort, you can stay ahead of the curve and avoid any nasty tax surprises come filing season. All right, let's wrap it up. We've talked about the types of credits, eligibility requirements, filing tips, and even the joys of IRS updates. But what you really want to know is, how much money are we talking about here? What kind of difference can these credits actually make? Well, guys, that's where things get really interesting. Because we're not talking about a few bucks off your tax bill. We're talking about potentially thousands of dollars in savings. Money that can make a real difference in your financial life. Let's say you're a student using the American Opportunity Credit. With a maximum credit of $2,500, that's $2,500 less you have to pay for college. That's textbooks. That's rent. That's maybe even a weekend trip that doesn't involve ramen noodles and instant coffee. And remember, the AOC is partially refundable. That means even if you don't owe any taxes, you can still get up to $1,000 back as a refund. The lifetime learning credit might not be as large, with a maximum credit of $2,000, but it can still make a significant dent in your education expenses. And because you can claim it for an unlimited number of years, those savings can really add up over time. By reducing your tax burden, you'll have more money in your pocket to pay down debt, invest in your future, or even just treat yourself to something nice. The point is, claiming educational tax credits isn't just about filling out some forms and hoping for the best. It's about taking control of your finances, maximizing your resources, and investing in your future. Your bank account will thank you. So there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the ins and outs of educational tax credits, from the different types available to the joys of IRS forms and the potential for significant financial savings. All this information will help you to understand the benefits of these credits, but it's also important to remember that your tax professional is more than just someone who files your taxes. They're a valuable partner in your financial journey. Make it a habit to ask questions about your tax obligations, potential deductions, and future planning strategies. Whether you're unsure about a recent change in tax laws or want to explore ways to save on your taxes, open communication is key. Don't hesitate to reach out and discuss your concerns or goals. A proactive approach not only helps you stay compliant with IRS guidelines, but also allows you to make informed decisions that can positively impact your financial future. Your tax professional is there to guide you make the most of that relationship. If you found this video helpful, share it with others who might benefit. And as always, consult a tax professional for personalized advice. If you have a tax question you would like that to be answered, please post your question in the comment section below. Leave a comment below with your thoughts. Stay informed, stay prepared, and let's make taxes less taxing together. See you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.